Hi, I'm Chris Dawes, and I am with the board of the Summer Institute of Church Music. It is my pleasure to be speaking today with Patrick Murray, who will be our choral instructor at the 2025 SICM gathering in Whitby. Hello, Patrick.
Hi, and hi to everybody who is watching.
And it's wonderful to have you with us this year. This is actually a remedial thing for us because we had to actually uninvite you in one unfortunate summer where the Institute wasn't held. But we're delighted that you're joining us this year and that we're going to be able to introduce you to our online audience also across the country.
Me too. I'm really excited to have the opportunity to do this, and it's exciting to see how SICM has grown and reinvented yourselves a little bit in the intervening years, and we're going to have a great summer of music making together.
I'm sure we will. All right, so Patrick is Director of Music at St. John's Anglican Church in Elora, Ontario. He is also the Artistic Director of Chor Amica in London, Ontario, and Director of the University of Toronto's Scarborough Concert Choir. I thought I'd get those professional activities out of the way, but then ask you, Patrick, could you introduce yourself however you'd like us to know and think about you?
Sure. Well, thanks for the introduction, Chris. And I think the most important thing for people to know then is if you picture where each of those three choirs is, I drive around a lot. So putting a lot of miles on my hybrid car. But the sort of joy of it is in every week I am working with professional singers, community, adult, amateur avocational singers, and university singers, some of whom are joining a choir for the first time in their lives as young adults. And in the past, I've done work with children's choirs as well. So there's been a real breadth to the work that I do and the singers and people that I work with that really I wasn't necessarily expecting to have be part of my career when as a younger person decided, oh, I'm going to be a choral director. But has been a real blessing, actually. And I continue to love that aspect of my work, all the different people that I get to work with every week to sing and make music together.
That's great. I've known you for a few years. I know you're very
A
much
while, Chris.
a people person. What else would you tell us about yourself?
You mentioned I work for an Anglican church. I didn't grow up in the Anglican church. I grew up in the United Church of Canada. I'm from Kitchener-Waterloo, which is now where I live again, as of this year, as of this past fall. So I grew up in KW in Ontario. Went to University of Toronto, where I first met you as an undergraduate student. Went away to the United States for 4 years for graduate studies. And then what brought me back to Canada was teaching at a couple of different university positions, and then getting the job at St. John's Elora, which as a choral musician, I had trained a lot and done a lot of singing in the Anglican church, but my other previous church jobs had been with Lutheran churches in the United States of a couple different denominations. For a while, I was cantoring for the Catholic Church. So I've moved around a lot, and I've done a lot of different types of liturgies with a lot of different denominations. And that's, I hopefully an ecumenical perspective that I continue to bring to my current work, even as I work in a particular liturgy, in a particular choral tradition on Sundays.
Wonderful. That's interesting. It sort of sounds like this phase of your career is anchored on the existence of that church position. I wonder if because you do have this interesting community and institutional and church aspect to your current career, I wonder what you can tell us is specific, unique to the church portion of what you do.
I think what makes church work unique, and one of the things that I personally love, is matching music and liturgy together. When I'm planning a program for my university choir or my community choir, of course, I'm thinking about how does this music fit together? Is this appropriate for my singers? But in church, of course, the needs of the liturgy and the time within the liturgical year and the scriptural texts that we're reading always come first. And then you're also trying to match with what do my singers need and what can they do and what is our congregation going to respond to. And so keeping those two balls in the air is always a fun challenge.
I wonder if you can talk to us a little bit about what having a strong choral program of any character, what it contributes to the singing and the life of a congregation.
Sure. I mean, I'm a strong believer that singing makes us who we are, you know? And this is not, for those of you who kind of know some of the history of, congregational singing, but also choral societies, broadly speaking, in contemporary Western culture. I mean, this is something that we had to figure out as a people, that singing together makes us. And so that's part of the heritage that choral musicians today bring to our work, is really that singing is about identity making. Singing is about bringing people together. And so really what I think a strong church music program can provide, whether that's, the professional singers that I have the great fortune of working with, or any strong amateur group that takes on a leadership role within its congregation. Number one is, I think, something to aspire to, something to inspire people. Both of which, aspiration in particular actually has to do with the breath when you think of it. So that's an analogy that I kind of like.
Yes.
And also a little bit of a security blanket to bring other people into what you do, because when you have people who are willing to take on a leadership role in singing, then other people are more likely to step through that door. I think of someone like my father, who won't be watching this video probably, but who can't really hold a tune for the life of him. I don't think I got the music from that side of the family. But he will come to church and sing because everyone else around him is singing, or because he hears and is involved and is participating in something that is bigger than himself. And I think that's what many people in the pews, so to speak, feel and experience and are hopefully are invited into by having singing leaders around them on a Sunday.
Do you have a favorite story of congregational singing? Now, this might happen to be one of those magnificent hymns that we do with packed churches at Christmas and Easter, but it might be something more humble. I'm just curious, what's an experience that you can share with us that really sticks with you?
Well, there's a couple of things that stand out to me. First of all, most recently, our church is celebrating their 150th anniversary, and the way that we chose to kick off that celebration was with a hymn sing and inviting everybody to come and sing, and deliberately making multiple avenues for that to happen. So, of course, we did have, our choir there, but we also invited other people to come and sing for an anthem with our choir. We had people were able to suggest and vote on their favorite hymns. We invited in a guest, Tom Bell from Toronto, some of you might know him, to come and introduce those hymns and provide, with his typical British humor, some wonderful background on the hymns that we were singing together. And experiences like that, I know, hymn sings are something that many congregations do, either semi-regularly or for special occasions. But most recently, that just stands out to me as a wonderful expression of community in my community. One of the other things, this might be slightly different from what you asked, Chris, but I really did make it part of my mission in taking up the position that I have now to just create more ways for people to join in and sing together at St. John's in Elora. And one of the things that has been a real success for us has been starting a monthly come and sing Compline service. Compline being evening or night prayer service. And so it's typically, musically, it revolves a lot around chant or other sorts of unison singing. So that's a very accessible way to invite really anybody to come in and sing a liturgy. And the congregation is actually, some people just sit and listen, but for the most part, the choir is the congregation because they are all invited into the music of this liturgy. And this started with a handful of people 2 years ago, and is now, routinely 30 some odd people who will come out with no commitments, but who just want to come out and be a part of essentially a new congregation that we made around this particular liturgy and the musical expression of it. So that has been a special thing to see grow in my life and work as well.
Wonderful. Okay, well, so Patrick, July 21st to 24th, you're going to be with us, leading sessions, conducting evenings for our community chorale, and presenting a concert on the closing night. What can you tell us about what people can expect when they come and join us?
Certainly. So we have a theme and a title of Songs of Sanctuary this year. And so in various different ways, this music is inviting people into a place of peace, safety, repose, reflection. The program starts off with American composer Undine Smith Moore's arrangement of the classic spiritual We Shall Walk Through the Valley in Peace, and then segues into a Mendelssohn piece of all things that also has the same text of walking in peace together. And hopefully there will be other sorts of connections that we find between different pieces on the program as well. We're going to sing Anton Bruckner's classic Locus Iste, which is a dedicatory piece for a sanctuary, really, or a church, a place of sanctuary. And those sorts of themes, I understand, are also going to be reflected in the new commission that composer Jason Locke, is writing for the SICM Fellow recognition.
Yes.
So we'll be excited to premiere that together. We have a bunch of Canadian repertoire on the program as well, from Stephanie Martin, Andrew Balfour, and an arrangement that I've done myself of a singer-songwriter, Connie Caldor, a kind of folk spiritual piece of hers as well. So there's lots of different types of music from different eras, including our own country, lots of different ways in to the text and music that we'll be exploring together.
That's great. And what you've just described is the sort of a glimpse of the choral music that will populate the closing concert, and of course our evenings rehearsing that closing concert. But you're going to be with us during the days as well. Are we going to learn things from you about being conductors and church musicians?
I hope so. We'll be, I have a big, for me, everything comes back to the breath. So we'll be doing some sessions on vocal pedagogy with choirs, just good, healthy vocalism and how to encourage that through warm-ups and tone building in our ensembles. And we'll also be doing a little bit of conducting pedagogy as well, which again, for me, starts from breath and onset and how to encourage that and reflect that in gesture, the type of breath and vocalism that you want to encourage in your singers. So those will be two main focuses for our daytime session. Splendid.
All right. Well, Patrick, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks, Chris.
And I'm so looking forward to us all gathering in Whitby. And online, folks, just to be clear, you can join at convenient times in every time zone of Canada. You can visit SICM.ca on the internet for very detailed information about not just Mr. Murray and his colleagues who will be our faculty, but also about the detailed schedule that you can enjoy as either an in-person or online registrant. And for those of you who are interested in simply evenings, we do have this community choral program where you go under Patrick's baton for 3 days of rehearsal and then a performance on the closing night. We're very excited to restore this program, which has not been current at SICM since before the pandemic. And we're just thrilled, Patrick, that you're going to be leading it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in Whitby.